A few things I wanted to share with you about essay writing. Just a few working tools which I like to give you when you're too close to the examination. Please try and see as much as you can incorporate. One thing is the title. Title to me is the biggest trap that we have got. And second thing is flow charting. These only two things I like to share with you about the essay writing, and you're already writing lots of essays, and some of you have been getting some good marks. But a big change which has taken place last year trend, I hope it's a trend, is that GS marks has become a differentiating factor. The range has increased. You got 80 also and 130 also, so that is one. And essay marks have gone up, 160 plus. I know a lot of people who have got 160 plus. So it seems that they start giving marks there also. So otherwise it was only the optional thing which would basically make the differences of the selection. But there are lots of scope to capitalize upon in GS also. It has taken 4 years for coming to this level, but then finally the coaching sector has caught up. And I'm glad about that. Let's look at the topic, and for the topic, I'd like to mention a few things to you. One thing about topic, I would say that please never get to a topic which you think is the easiest topic or the most difficult topic. Easiest and the most difficult topics have to be avoided. Most difficult because nobody is writing. You can't think that I'll write and then write a different essay. No, there's enough reason. Your essay should be decided, decision of the topic has to be based on your own comfort level, and your own comfort level can be identified by 5 W's and 1 H. Ask those what, where, why, when, how, who of those essay, and the topic for which you get maximum whats, maximum wheres, maximum whys, maximum hows, maximum whens, that is your topic. So that should be the basis for deciding about the topic. The second thing about topic I would like you to suggest is that never give your own idea to the topic. That's a very common mistake we quite often do. If the topic is too many women in too many countries speak the same language of silence, don't write about 7% or 7.5% of humanity. Write about 50% of humanity. This topic is not about India. I hope you're getting that. Lots of time we give it as our own pretext. And then, like, if the topic is like child labor problem, you like child labor problem in India. It should be like thematically treated, not giving a mind. I don't mind you giving 2 paragraphs, 3 paragraphs, 4 paragraphs on India, absolutely fine. But not the entire essay on India. Is that coming clear to you? So that has to be, yes, please.
Why should not select the most tedious one? Right?
Most tedious ones, if you have got all those 5 W's and I'm talking about rejecting, here I'm talking about selecting. The most tedious ones, are you messages for something? Like stop setting oneself. So stop setting yourself like that. So if you think that I'm taking a topic which may be most difficult, but I have got most developed points for that, I'll take it. But then nobody is taking, and I also don't have points, I would certainly not take it. Most difficult from your perspective, not from the perspective of the nation. If you have information, why not? That is for rejecting. For selecting, I will use advantage. Right? But unless you want to torture yourself. If you want to torture yourself, come home and then I will write that. I don't mind that. Is that clear to you? Own idea should not be given to the topic, it should be taken as per the theme. The third thing which I like to mention about your topic is that you should be looking at the flow. Flow of the topic is also very, very common. I think I remember one such topic being asked not long ago, I suppose 2015. Can you look at this question, topic? Character of an institution is reflected in the leader. Normally we say the character of an individual is reflected in the institution. When APJ was there, when Sridhar was there, when Balgish Kurian was there, when MS Swaminathan was there, and they affected when Mr. Modi is there. I mean, we normally say the individual to the institution, while the flow in this topic is to the reverse. Can you follow that? the character of an institution is reflected in the leader. It's not the leader's character. So just look at the flow. That leader to institution or institution to leader. A lot of time people have been like forgetting this aspect and then committing mistake. Also, please be particular about singular plural. I was trying to sensitize you, and then a lot of times that we have got topics being asked where you have to be, I would say, look at this first topic, way back. These topics are timeless. 1997 was asked. The modern doctor and his patients. Can you see where it's singular, where it's plural? The modern doctor and his patients. It's metaphorical, they say. It's in philosophical interposed themes that we have got. The modern doctor and his patients. The doctor is a solution and patient is a problem. So we have multiple solutions for the same problem or multiple problems, same solution. The modern doctor and his patients. One solution, many problems. Is that what we have got? Please be very particular about it. They get 1 year to look for 8 themes, more than 1 month for one topic. I don't think they spend time like that, but then I know that they are sensitive to that level. If you're writing about multiple solutions, multiple problems, you have not understood the topic. Write about what they basically ask you. First, don't give your own idea. Then look at the flow. Then also look for the singular plural also. And that's like, also as you would expect, that look at this metaphorical and literal meaning. Quite often we get carried by the literal meaning. Road to glory lead but to the grave. Like we have words. Geography may remain the same, history need not. These are all metaphorical references. So you don't have to write on the literal meaning, write on the metaphorical meaning. That also to be kept in mind. Road to glory lead but to the grave. That topic doesn't mean that you're writing about metaphorical there. I suppose metaphorical sense in these days a lot of philosophical themes have been coming, so you have to be very careful of that. Then another, articles have to be very clearly borne in mind. Like if they say the nation, you're writing about India. A nation, you write about general. Are you getting that? So definite article and indefinite article also need to be borne in mind. I think I put a very interesting comparison with the same year, 2013. In 2013, they say GDP along with GDH would be the right indices for judging the well-being of a country. I'm talking about India or general? General or country, no. GDP along with GDH would be the right indices for judging the well-being of a country. The same year, just remember below, this topic was there. Science and technology is the panacea for the growth and security of the nation. We talk about one nation, India. Are you getting that? And you think that they are casually taking these two topics? If they talk about the nation, they basically mean the nation. If they talk about a country, they basically mean a country. Otherwise, they could have easily used the country. So please write in general here. Please write in specific here. So these articles which they are using, you'll find a lot of. If you look at the previous year's essay topics, you'll find a lot of small catches that they are having there, and we must be very particular about them. I suppose look at this like women empowerment challenges and prospects. You think that you'll write only about India's women challenges and Indian prospects? Possibly not. Then I remember 1 year when some students had got very pathetic marks. I think that was the time when PubMed had a very big rise. And I think I remember that topic was a political topic, and it was something on I think I'm missing out here in that responsibility of media and mass communication, how judicial activism and Indian democracy. National amity. Yeah, this one, 2008. PubMed was like on the zenith at that time. A role of media in good governance. And I remember people getting 15 marks also, 1-5. role of media in good governance. They end up writing everything about role of media in good governance in India. When the examiner cannot find the address of these people to settle their score, they will give a mark for remembering their stuff line. So this is very, very important. Very small things that I'm asking about, and you can easily incorporate. Don't have to have extra skill, super skill to just have the sensitivity, and then accordingly go about that. As far as the second thing which I like to talk about, apart from this title thing, which is the biggest trap to me, as I understand, I would expect that you should be a little bit careful about flow charting your essay, because the time that they give you, let's say 90 minutes, how much you end up writing? 1200 words, which should not take more than 35 minutes, 40 minutes, or at 45 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes for revision, editing. I'll tell you about the editing tools also. That's how to edit your own essay. You must edit your essay before you finally present it for evaluation. I would simply mention here that you have at least 20-25 minutes for planning your essay. And the better you plan, the better you get. And flow charting is the tool that I like you to mention. And there can be several ways to flow chart your essay. One way of flow charting is thought frameworking or thought flow charting. That means you take lots of whats and lots of hows. So that's one way of flow charting your essay that you can do. Thought frameworking. There's another which you can call it as organic frameworking. Organic frameworking is a very common frameworking lots of students use. The topic they take up, and they take up like past, present, and future. Like an organism that actually pre-birth, maturity, senility, can have multiple, but then the broad points will be like past, present, and future. That's organically, and then you've got several paragraphs. This is the idea that you're taking, and then on that you break the paragraphs. Then another theme that you could possibly have is subject frameworking. In subject frameworking, most often the topic is given. The topic itself indicates the India, the economic superpower of future. If they have got Indian society at a crossroads, I sent one to you. But there is crossroads or crossroad. Crossroads. I think the class was sensitive enough to understand. It's not a crossroad. If I give a crossroad, you can just write one. And crossroads like at family level also, this level also, this level also. So multiple crossroad is what I was expecting in that topic. So subject framework like India, the economic superpower of future. Economics come out here, no? So economics you can break it in production, consumption, and trade. And then after that, production can have many paragraphs: primary sector, secondary sector, tertiary sector, consumption by rich people, consumption by poor people, trade, domestic trade, international trade. You can have multiple paragraphs made on that, which is known as subject framework. I suppose you're getting this method to actually break your idea and then subsequently toss it out in different paragraphs. But then, how to really find this first level? I'm giving you some of those indications. I think the thought framework, organic framework, and subject framework are very, very standard ones. One which I like to give is what I call it as optional framework. Optional framework, like as many options that you have got, this is mine. You will not find anywhere in any standard book. I have invented this, and I'm so proud of it. Optional framework, you take as many optional that you do, physics, chemistry, whatever. You don't have to use all of them. History, geography. Any topic you have got, you can take as many dimensions as possible. And then you can, this is never the best, but it's the quickest to comprehend. So the same topic, almost all topics you can take up from historical perspective, from public administration perspective, from legal perspective, from political science perspective, from sociology perspective, from anthropology perspective, from as many perspectives that you can imagine. This is also one of the vector to frameworking. In fact, to go a bit deeper into this, I'll tell you certain steps to be followed as far as frameworking is concerned, so that you can save your valuable time in the examination hall, not like deviating too much here and there. And from that perspective, I'm trying to explain something here to you. In this, what we have, let's take the first thing that you have got. Let's say this is the topic. the first point that you can possibly think is the topic, and then you decide the topic already what topic you have got. The second thing that you decide at what level that I like to break it. Am I going for optional or thought framework or organic framework or subject framework? Then you go for the idea thing. So the second point is idea. And I'm giving this pointer. Please move mechanically on this. You will never miss out anything. Topic, done. Idea, done. So that second thing that you should do about first writing, decide about which is the kind of frameworking I'm going, and that's I call it as idea. Then third thing is paragraph. So first I say that I'm going to go for, let's say, these are the levels through which, and I like to write some one-word signals for each one of them. And this is how I have gone, like this is my idea that I have got. And then the third thing is paragraph. Like here I'll make 2 paragraphs, here I'll make again 2 paragraphs, here I'll make again 2, here I'll make 3 paragraphs, here again 2, and here again 3 paragraphs. So you have to write keywords as to what you would be basically doing in these paragraphs. The third thing is paragraph, deciding about as many paragraphs that you want. Some central key idea I can take up. And then the fourth thing that I'm going to take up after this topic, idea, paragraph is analysis. Analysis is here itself and say that I would like to analyze this on business parameter. And for standard rules of analysis, I like you to ask yourself that do I have got a logic for this? Whatever stand I'm going to take here, let's say we have got ineffective implementation is a major cause of protection of dignity of women at workplace. I mean, that's the central idea. So do I have a logic to say that? You have to ask yourself. Analysis has to be powerful, no? The analysis is the biggest part of the total essay. And if it is weak, you have to know in advance before you write the first line of that paragraph. So one is logic. The second is example. You ask yourself that do I have got some example of this or not? The third could be, in fact, I don't expect that all of them will be there in all the paragraphs. But these are the angles through which you can possibly analyze your paragraph. And then some tone. The different types of tones of essay, no? Like the standard tone that we have got goes something like this. We have got a pessimist tone, which I don't think you should go anywhere close to that. You'll be hired for solutions, not for reminding and not for being cynical. Pessimist, then we have got serious, then we have got somber, then we have got optimistic, and then we have got enthusiastic. Different types of tones that we have got. Pessimist, serious, somber, optimistic, enthusiastic. And some places we don't want to commit anything. You have got tongue-in-cheek tone that we have got. Tongue-in-cheek tone, like you are not putting your tongue in the cheek and then talking about it. You are not committing anything. Normally people learn this trick after marriage. Yes, did you say this? No, I never meant that. So, assuming most of you know being married, I think my fatherly responsibility to have it conveyed. But that's also a tone. You have to basically see that, yes, I am not miscommitting here, but then I would still convey the point which I want to, tongue-in-cheek approach that we have got. Then we have fifth thing. And what will be? This follows mechanically. Topic, idea, paragraph, analysis. It all has to go in the same order. And there are going to be 10 points ultimately that you can possibly do. And then I have to do examine. Almost you can see your entire essay here. Can you see that? I mean, you see the analysis here. Then first examining that we can do 6 points that we got. I'm examining my own essay before I start writing on this. And the first thing that I expect it should be doing is that layering. Sometimes you find that there is one idea on which we can have multiple paragraphs. So let me vertically fuse it. Like this is where I can possibly have 3 paragraphs. Say for example, I have taken past here, but past I think I can divide in ancient and medieval as separate. So I'll, instead of taking it here, I'll take it here and then possibly do 2 paragraphs, ancient and medieval separately. So this is called layering in the technical jargon for moving the idea level to paragraph level to idea level. 90% chance you will not be requiring, but examining this, giving this option to yourself is very much I'm. The 7th thing which I am talking about, apart from layering, is fusion. Fusion is something which I like to underline here. I gave you lots of options. I was talking about, say, let's take, for example, we have got optional frameworking. In optional frameworking, we have got anthropology, we have got sociology. In both the places, analysis looks same. In PubAd, political science, and law, the analysis looks the same. You have two paragraphs which are dealing with the same theme. So use a repetitive and scale for a mini product of yours. This is about 1,000 to 1,200 words. That's not this. So it will be repetitive. So I would expect just use the ones which are talking about similar theme. After seeing analysis, only you'll be able to decide that here in this paragraph also I'm saying the same thing. That paragraph also I'm saying the same thing. Instead of writing two weak paragraphs, I will write one powerful paragraph. Layering is like vertically moving, and fusion is like horizontally moving. I hope you understand that. Similar paragraphs brought together. And that is what we have got as fusion. You tried this layering also, tried this fusion also, but there is a possibility that you are not happy with one paragraph. Maybe I don't think I have got a powerful logic. I don't have any data. I don't have any example. And then I think I'm going to write. I think one weak paragraph will definitely be noted by the examiner. One less paragraph, you would not even come to know that you wrote one less paragraph. I hope you're getting that point. So for that reason, I would say, eighth option I'm going to give you is cancel that. Cancel. Not write one paragraph. I'm going to make this flowchart. You simply say that, hey, it's never existed. Doesn't matter. Nobody would ever come to know that it was existing there. So cancellation. So three options, three examinations that you have to have: layering, fusion, cancellation. After that, the next thing which I am talking about is ordering. Ordering, when I say, I'm expecting the thing which I am talking to you while ago. This is the second most important paragraph to which you will do end up with. So you just see that unless it is an organic essay, that the one you were like having doubts about, if it's an organic essay, I don't have a choice. But still, I'll save something up my sleeves so that I can possibly shake it before it will be marks for me. So that's something which I like to say. Ordering I like to do in that tier itself. Ordering of idea, ordering of paragraph. And the last thing that I have got, the 10th one that I have got is linker. Linker is an important component, and this linker, I have not seen a single student who was poor in linker and got good marks in essay. All of them have been good at linkers. Linker is something like you have got two paragraphs and then you move between the paragraphs seamlessly. And there can be lots of linkers. You can have linker from here also, linker from here also, they call it. You can link from both sides also. But then linkers can be like signposting linker that we have got, signposting like firstly, secondly, thirdly. That's one way of linker that you can do. Another set of linker is that stop phrasing that you have got. Hence, therefore, however, so, below mentioned, above mentioned. That's another set of stock phrasing that we have got. Apart from supra mentioned, infra mentioned, all these are the stock phrasing that we have got. But then my favorite linker is logical transition. When you mentally create the expectancy in the reader's mind that what to expect in the next paragraph. This is beautiful and it's very seamless, and you're psychologically playing with it. He would not even realize that he's ending up reading the whole essay. So that is something which is my favorite. Otherwise, you have got these are two artificial linkers I call them, and this is a natural linker I have got. Like I'm writing about some problem of let's say that we have got about judiciary, and you say like hey, judiciary has not been all that bad. It has done something good also. So in that case that we're talking about, despite so many challenges, it has withstood the test of democratic credentials. And this is stopped there, which means the next paragraph is expecting something positive. And I hope you're getting that. So I would expect that creating the expectancy in the mind of the reader is a beautiful tool that you can use as a linker. I hope this 10 points are clear to you. Please follow in the same order and do 2-3 times. First time you're taking about 45 minutes to 1 hour. But ultimately, under 25-20 minutes, this will happen in exam tomorrow if you have practiced enough. And if it is all points in order, first is topic, then we got idea, what kind of framework we're going to have, then we got paragraph, Then we got analysis. Analysis got all those tools for left, logic, example, fact, or tone. And then after that, we have examination. The three types of examination that we have got. One examination is that we're talking about layering. Then we're talking about fusion. And then we look at cancellation. And after that cancellation, we are looking for the ordering. And after the ordering, only we can do linker. So we can't do linker and then ordering. So ordering has to come before the. So these are the 10 points that you have got. Hopefully, help you drawing the flowchart a little quicker. You have been doing this, but now I have given you this 10 points if you move through, it will be a little better. Then, I suppose one last thing before I move on of the day. Of course, I've taken longer than I originally anticipated. Unless you have the questions, I'll definitely have enough time for you always. Editing. I think editing is one thing of the essay. Please save some time. Write 2 paragraphs less, but must edit your essay. It's a very difficult thing. Giving an, you talk any essays to write in the newspapers regularly and ask them to come to the UPSC hall and write one essay half as good as that. They will definitely find an excuse and then not come back. It's very difficult to write one time final product. So it has to be very disciplined and of course edited also by you. Because they have got multiple editing done before they send for printing and it's like, wow, what an essay. But that's like not something what they're expecting there. For editing things, I would like to share with you one thing that you should be doing is that read the essay. About 800-900 words you may have written before conclusion. Editing has to be done before conclusion. And then try and see. One thing is that grammar, spelling, comma, semicolon, punctuation marks that you should look for. I told you my generation is very, very particular. And then there's nothing like as India for me like this. No, I think this is the only way I can imagine India. It's not like you write bigger, it's like Apple. No, it's just by increasing the size of the small letter, it doesn't really happen that way. So look for my generation, and then I told you we have an inertia of 60 years old English. Don't forget that. I learned for 30 years ago, slightly more than that, and somebody who learned 30 years ago. So it is about a 60-year-old English, not the English that you are typing on your SMSs, is what we have got. So have respect for my age and my background and my kind of English. So that is something which I'm underlining several times. In GS paper you can have some margin, but essay paper, these people are a little more strict on that. The second thing which I'd like you to look for anything is you should look for any contradiction. Contradiction is the sense like some places you may have said the most important. First of all, you should never write it. Close sentences, etc. But then if you at all have written something else, so one clause here, another clause there, that you don't realize when you're writing it. So look for that if there's any contradiction or not. The third thing that you should be looking for is a linker. So the flow is there in the essay or not. At times, and the fourth thing, or the last thing for the editing tool that I would like to say, to making insertion and deletion. That's something I'd like you to explain clearly here. And this you can possibly use it for your answer writing also, because I assume with the kind of practice that you're doing back home every day, one paper, I am sure you'll have some time to edit there also. See, this is your box that in which you are writing, and imagine these are the sentences and the words written by you, and then you are not happy with something here. Normally what we do is that we do something like this. I don't recommend that you should do like that. If you don't like certain sentence, you just simply cancel it. Now if you need to replace, I don't like you to do this re-speech to person. It doesn't really look nice to me. I am not very fond of it. And it doesn't take extra time actually. It is just a matter of practice. Just do this and put an asterisk here. Simple asterisk. And draw a line, maybe 1/3 or something like this here. And put an asterisk here and write the replacement word. It gives a beautiful image of the student. This person was in control of its own self in the examination hall. It has edited and then served it. There are times that you have got like two places that you had to cancel it out. This also cancel it out. So we write a star 1, a star 2, or 2 stars, or asterisk, whatever you call it. Write this and then you write. And there's a possibility you can't finish it here. So the standard way is that put 3 dots, 4 dots are clear to you. Why do you put 3 dots, 4 dots? I think you're very casual, but still it's better to know that. If you're putting 3 dots and then writing, like you write 3 dots here and write CPT next page. So in that case, the next page you go and the next page you do the same thing and then you write 3 dots CPT to the previous page, continued CPT dot in the previous page. 3 dots basically means that part of the sentence is missing. And 4 dot, if you put it, that is more than one sentence is missing. And if you have put anything more than 4 dot, you are leaving for the reader to extrapolate on its own. So this is the standard meaning of all those dots that we have got. But I would not be worried too much about that. But then since you know it, might as well use it. And most often you'll be writing a few more words. So I would like you to basically, this is a very simple exercise, but gives beautiful image. Something like underlining into some words. But anything, any page, if you underline more than 3 places or 2 places, you are as good as not underlined. So underlining should be given respect. It should be like something which I essentially don't miss out. But if you give me 5, 6, 7 places every page, why do you think that I was never reading it or what? So that kind of image I carry. So not underlining too much, little bit of underlining. I think once or the 3 times in 2 pages is the best, I would imagine. Then it really gets noted, I suppose. I hope we'll get in that. And this is the way I would like it to insert. If you go to 3rd page, 4th page, you can possibly carry on like that. Right, this please. I think so, yes. But it should not be because somebody advised you that you should have a flowchart and diagram and I should have it. Because I see some diagrams, man, environment. Those diagrams don't impress me. But please, whenever you're drawing diagram, show a decent respect for that. A diagram which is not labeled is an insult. I think I would expect that you can possibly make a box. You must make a box and then eat what you want to show before you actually depict it. So labeling is very, 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 very important before showing diagram. Don't expect that I've given the diagram, now it's your responsibility. Sorry, again, come again?
In which we can.
Yeah, you can have, let's say, a flow chart that you can make for the purpose of challenges faced by a working woman. So you can say a working woman here in the center, and then you can say challenges at home, challenges at commutation, then 2 challenges you can write at the workplace, something like that, and then possibly a chart depicting multiple challenges faced by women, working women. So something which basically conveys, and you can convey a lot of things in a very succinct form. But don't do too much of improvisation in the examination hall. Because if you have planned and already know that in control of situation, then you should be doing it.
So can we write 2 paragraphs in points?
Yes, you can also mix it. Yes, why not? For essay, normally I don't advise. But for answer writing, definitely. Essay also you can write, but it will be part of the paragraph.
Within paragraph.
Yeah, within paragraph, like you can put a semicolon, dot, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you can continue, but not change your paragraph. This is the same paragraph in which you may have. So a simple paragraph, every single paragraph is individually connected with the topic. So this one and itself connects with the topic. It's not if you just give a pointers, they all pointers become independent. In answer, yes, since you're not writing on that, you can always give an open-ended pointers there. Right?
So now we're having headings and subheadings.
Heading and subheading in essay. See, there was a time when in my early career, I was like, no subheadings, nothing. But I've seen so many subheadings for the message and got good marks. So I am now secular. So you can give subheadings, I think you can carry it. But generally, if you go by the classical way of doing, the subheadings, etc., is mostly part of article. There's a difference between article and essay. Article is one in which you can have a paragraph which is independently stands of its own. Whereas in essay, no paragraph stands of its own. It is always connected with that. But I think UPSC is liberal because lot of students with subheadings and points, they have got good marks, so I'm also open on that. You can think. Yes, I suppose that's all for the day, and then I'm available personally to all of you, and whenever you think that you need to have some of those case studies or anything on that nature, find me around. I will definitely get back to you on that. Thank you very much, and have a great weekend.